But will this effort be overlooked while the nation's focus is elsewhere? Let's bring in today's gaggle, Michelle Bernard, president of the Bernard Center for Women, Politics, and Public Policy, Politico's MJ Lee, and Democratic pollster Margie Omero. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being on the show. Fascinating as we've spent all summer sort of talking about all these issues that Congress and the president had to deal with in the fall. You had the idea of immigration, funding the government through the end of September, the debt limit. All seems to be getting washed away now by Syria, which is going to be in the forefront for at least the next few weeks, right, MJ?
Yeah, and I think an issue like the health care reform law, it is a deadline that is coming up. People are going to start enrolling in it, as you mentioned, and because the administration has, experienced a couple of hiccups, some delays that the administration had to put in place because they were simply not ready to start enforcing some parts of the law, I think makes it all the more important for someone with, this kind of star power from President Bill Clinton to go out to a state like Arkansas, where we obviously have a very important Senate and a governor's race coming up in 2014, to sell this for the administration.
And it's fascinating. You have Bill Clinton out there, which any other day of the week would have been the lead story.
Yeah.
But Syria is hanging over.
It is going to hang over just the way we saw what happened with the invasion of Iraq in 2002 and 2003. It becomes the biggest story of the news, and for a lot of good reason. People have 9/11 on their minds. People are wondering, are we going to end up in war? And I think, quite frankly, national security issues always are going to trump issues of domestic policy, especially with the Affordable Care Act.
But I would add that there is a lot more going on the Affordable Care Act than any one day of coverage, whether it's President Clinton or anything else. You have people out in the streets around the country, signing people up at fairs, going door to door. You have television ads and on people working online to reach the younger people and the uninsured, who are potentially a different population than the folks who are watching coverage of Syria day to day. So there's a lot more than just the speech yesterday, which did get coverage, to encourage enrollment and keep this in the news.
But it's certainly facing an uphill battle right now. I mean, even when we've seen the law, it is the law of the land. The president is getting some high-profile endorsements. The Baltimore Ravens are going to try and encourage people to enroll. Magic Johnson tweeted it out. But it just sort of seems to me, from where we are right now, is you have all these other pressing issues that are getting in the way. The fever has not broken, right? So you had this idea that, okay, we're going to get past these budget issues, but immigration, most likely dead right now, right? Signing up for the health care exchange, a lot of distortion, distraction because of this debt and because of Syria.
Well, the big thing for the Obama administration is how to attract young people to this issue and get them signed up. And I think there's an argument to be had that's pretty reasonable, that getting athletes and getting, I think Katy Perry tweeted something about the Affordable Care Act the other day. Maybe that grabs their attention because that's really, I think, who their primary focus group is right now.
And look, October 1st, everyone's going to be talking about it, right? There's going to be coverage of that. And it's not just that one day. It's going to go on for months. And people who need health insurance, which are millions of Americans, are going to sign up. And then they're going to tell their friends, and they're going to talk about it. And then people are going to have real experiences.
I don't know, unless we strike Syria.
Close us out, MJ.
Well, I think that, Syria is, regardless of where the president is going to dominate the headlines, as you mentioned. And that's not something that's going to go away until, maybe the president makes an Oval Office statement, and then we see what Congress decides to do.
Fascinating stuff. Don't go away. We're going to have more with our panel in just a little bit. But still to come, the answer to today's trivia question.